today we are going to dramatize. Dramatizing helps in learning English very much because people who take part in and play different parts, well, they become braver and more confident in their speaking. Well, and this way they become more confident while socializing to English-speaking people. Okay, so today we are going to show you two clippings. Well, one of them is from Bernard Shaw's play Pigmalion. So Alina will tell you something about this author.
George Bernard Shaw was an Irish playwright, critic, polemicist, and political activist. He was born in 1856 and died in 1950. He wrote more than 60 plays, including major works such as Man and Superman 1902, Pygmalion 1913, and Saint John 1923. Shaw became the leading dramatist of his generation, and in 1925 his work was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature. His influence on Western culture, theater, and political extended from the 1980s to his death and beyond. In 1964, a screen version of Pygmalion was released. It was entitled My Fair Lady. The film had great success. It is about Henry Higgins, the professor of phonetics who wants English people to speak great English. And today we are going to show one scene from this version.
Sounds do you think you heard all together?
I believe I've counted 24.
Around by 100.
What?
To be exactly, you heard 130. Now listen to them all together.
Must I? I'm really quite done up for one more.
There's a young woman who wants to talk to you, sir.
A young woman? What does she want?
Oh, she's quite a common girl, sir. Very common indeed. I should have sent her away, only I thought perhaps you wanted her to talk into your machine.
Has she an interesting accent?
Simply ghastly, Mr. Higgins.
Good. Let's have her in. Show her in, Mrs. Pierce.
Very well. It's for you to say.
This is the rough bit of luck. I'll show you how I make records. We'll set her talking down in first in Belle's visible speech, then in broadromic, and then we'll get her on phonograph so you can turn her on whenever you want with the written transcript before you.
This is the young woman, sir.
Good morning, my good man. Might I have a pleasure of work with you face to face?
Oh, no. This is the girl I jotted down last night. She's no use. I've got all records I want of the listen group lingo. I don't want to waste another cylinder on that. Now be off with you. I don't want you.
Don't be so saucy. You aren't here to come for yet. Did you tell her we're coming in a taxi?
Nonsense, girl. What do you think a gentleman like Mr. Higgins cares what she came in?
Oh, we are proud. He ain't love giving lessons. Not him. I heard he say so. Well, here I am. I'm ready to pay him.
How much?
Oh, I can go elsewhere.
I can go elsewhere.
Good enough for what?
Good enough for you. Now you know, don't you? I come to have my lessons, and I'm ready to pay.
And what do you expect me to say?
Well, if you were the gentleman, you might ask me to sit down, I think. Don't I tell you I'm bringing your business?
Pickering, should we ask to this baggage to sit down or should we just throw her out of the window?
Oh, I won't be called baggage. Not when you offered to pay like any lady.
What do you want, girl?
I want to be a lady in a flower shop, instead of standing in the corner of Tottenham Court Road. But they won't take me unless I can speak more genteel. He said he could teach me. Well, here I am, ready to pay him, not asking any favor, and he treats me as if it was steward.
How
I
much?
know what lessons cost as well as you do, and I'm ready to pay.
How much?
Now you are talking. I thought you'd come over to when you saw a chance, a bit of getting back of what attracted me last night. You'd had a drop in, hadn't you?
Sit down.
Oh, if you're going to make a compliment of it.
Sit down!
Sit down, girl. Do as you're told.
What's your name?
Eliza Doolittle.
Won't you sit down, Miss Doolittle?
Oh, I don't mind if I do.
Now, how much do you propose me to pay for these lessons?
Oh, I know what's right. A lady friend of mine gets French lessons for 18 pence an hour from a real French gentleman. Well, you wouldn't have the face to ask me the same for teaching me my own language as you would for French. So, I won't give more than a shilling. Take it or leave it.
Pickering. If you think of a shilling, not as a simple shilling, but as a percentage of this girl's income, it works out as a fully equivalent of 60 or 70 pounds from a millionaire. By church, it's enormous. It's the biggest offer I ever had.
60 pounds? What are you talking about? Where would I get 60 pounds? I never offered you 60 pounds.
Hold your tongue.
But I got 60 pounds.
Don't cry, you silly girl. Sit down. Nobody's going to touch your money.
Somebody's going to touch you with a broomstick if you don't stop sniveling. Sit down.
Oh, nobody would think you were my father.
If I decide to teach you, I'll be worse than two fathers to you. Here,
What this for?
to wipe your eyes, to wipe any part of your face that feels moist, and remember that's your handkerchief and that's your sleeve. Don't confuse the one with the other if you want to become a lady in the shop.
There's no use to talk to her like that, Mr. Higgins. She doesn't understand you.
Here, give the handkerchief to me. He gave it to me, not to you.
Higgins, I'm interested. What about your balls that you could pass her as a duchess at the embassy hall? I'll say that you're the greatest teacher alive if you can make it good. I'll bet all the expenses of the experiment that you cannot do it. I'll even pay for the lessons.
You are real good. Thank you, Captain.
You know, it's almost irresistible. She's so deliciously low, so horribly dirty.
I'm dirty. I washed my face and hands before I come. I did.
I'll take it. I'll make a duchess of the draggle-tailed gutter snipe.
Oh,
We'll start today. Now, this moment. Take her away, Mrs. Pearson, clean her. Send paper if it won't come in of any other way. Is there a good find in the kitchen?
Yes, but...
Take out your clothes, burn them, and only new ones. Just wrap her in a brown paper till they come.
you are no gentleman. You are not to talk of such things. I'm a good girl. I am. And I know what the likes of you are. I do.
We want none of your slump brotherly here, young woman. You've got to learn to behave like a duchess. Now take her away, Mrs. Pearson. If she gives you trouble, wallop her.
I'll call the police. I will.
I've got no place to put her.
Well, put her in the dustbin.
Oh.
Come, Higgins, be reasonable.
You must be reasonable, Mr. Higgins. Really, you must. You can't walk over everybody like this.
I walk over everybody. My dear Mrs. Pierce, my dear Pickering, I had no intention of walking over anybody. I merely suggested we should be kind to this poor girl. I didn't express myself clearly because I didn't wish to hurt her delicacy. Or yours.
But sir, you can't take a girl up like as you would take a pebble on the beach.
Why not?
Why not? But you don't know anything about her. What about her parents? She may be married.
Gone.
As the girl properly says, Garn.
Who'd marry me?
By church, Eliza, the streets will be strewn with the bodies of men shooting themselves for your sake before I'm done with you.
Here. I'm going. He's off his chump. I don't want no barmaid teaching me.
Oh, man? Am I? Don't run up and all the closed. Just throw her out.
Stop it, Mr. Higgins. I won't allow it. Go home to your parents.
But I got no parents.
There you are. She ain't got no parents. What's all the fuss? Nobody wants her. She's no use to anybody but me. Take her upstairs.
But what's to become of her? Is she to be paid anything?
What would she do with money? She'll have food and clothes. She'll only drink if you give her money.
Oh, you're brutal. It's a lie. Nobody ever stole a cycle of liquor on me. Oh, sir, you're a gentleman. Don't let him speak to me like that.
Does it occur to you, Higgins? The girl has some feelings.
Oh no, I don't think so. no feelings we should worry about.
Mr. Higgins, I must know what a girl tends to be here. What would become of her when you finish your teaching? You must look a little bit ahead, sir.
What's to become of her if you leave her in a gutter? Answer me that, Mrs. Pierce.
That's her own business, not yours.
When I'm done, that will be her own business again. It will be alright. Won't it?
You've no feelings in your heart. You don't care of nothing but yourself. I've had enough of this. I'm going. I am. You ought to be ashamed by yourself. You ought.
Have some chocolates, Eliza?
How do I know what might be in them? I've heard of girls being drugged by the likes of you.
Pledge of good faith. I'll take the one and you take the other. Think of it, Eliza. You live on them every day.
How would they know? I wouldn't have ate it. Only I'm too delighted to take it out of my mouth.
Think of chocolates and taxis and gold and diamonds.
Oh, I don't want no gold and no diamonds. I'm a good girl. I am.
Higgins, I really must interfere. Mrs. Pierce is quite right. If the girl is going to put herself in your hands for 6 months for an experiment in teaching, she thoroughly must understand what she is doing.
Eliza, you ought to stay here for the next 6 months, learning how to speak beautifully, like a lady in a florist shop. If you're good and do whatever you're told, you shall sleep in a proper bedroom, have lots to eat, and have money to buy chocolates and take rides and taxis. But if you're naughty and idle, you shall sleep in a back kitchen amongst the black beetles and be wallowed by Mrs. Pierce with a broomstick. At the end of 6 months, you shall be taken in Buckingham Palace, beautifully dressed in a carriage. If the king finds out you are not a lady, the police will take you to the Tower of London, where your head will be cut off, as the warning to our presumptuous flower girl. If you are not found out, you shall have a present of 7 and 6 to start life as a lady in a shop. If you refuse this offer, you will be the most ungrateful, wicked girl, and the angels will weep for you. Now, are you satisfied, Pickering?
I don't understand what you are talking about.
Or could I put it more plainly or fairly, Mrs. Pierce?
Come here, Eliza.
That's right, Mrs. Pierce. Take her upstairs, bundle her to the bathroom. You can't be a nice girl inside if you do the outside.
You're a great bully. You are. I won't teach you if I don't like it. I won't let nobody wallop me. I've never had a bath in my life. Not what you call a proper one.
Don't answer that, girl.
If I'd known what I was letting myself in for, I wouldn't have come here. I've always been a good girl. And I won't be put upon.
In 6 months, in 3 if she has a good ear and a quick tongue, I'll take her anywhere and I'll pass her off as anything. I'll make a queen of this barbarous wretch.
Take your hands off me.
Come here.
No!
Lady.
Миссис Пирс, Даша Якшина. А теперь нам нужны помощники, чтобы изменить декорации. Кто у нас помогает?